Now,
Coming to you from probably somewhere in Mississippi, guys talking about sports and stuff. You can call them Ray and Rodney or Rodney and Ray. Anyway, it's the R&R Show.
What's happening, world? What's happening, world? What's happening, world? What's going on? What's going on?
all right, we got this thing. Pow! Pow!
All right. We on.
What it do?
We on the air, y'all. We on the air, y'all. Welcome to the R&R Show. I'm Ray.
I'm Rodney.
No, I'm finna say you ain't gonna tell your name, man.
I said I'm Rodney. I like how you want me to do like.
Yeah, but you late with that though, man.
Hey, my name is Rodney. How y'all doing?
Well, that explains why you got that Dallas shirt on, then.
We still going to the Super Bowl. You shut your mouth, Ray.
Welcome.
I don't want to hear that.
welcome to the R&R Show. And as always, thank y'all for watching us. Thank y'all for liking us. Thank y'all for sharing us. We've been getting some shares. I don't think I ain't been peeping that out now, but we need to get the subscription up a little bit, man. Y'all tell. So if y'all be so kind, if you would be so kind, yeah, like some monies. Yeah, believe that. Tell your mama them and your mama them and they mama them, and make sure you tell they mama them, and don't forget to tell their daddy if they still in the house with them to watch us, check us out, share us, like us, subscribe to us on the tube, Hello, I don't know nothing about that. It's cheaper to keep what I heard.
So, Jonathan Taylor said you ain't pay but $2 to bring that little girl home. Man, cost you $2,000 to leave her alone. Johnny.
So what's up, man? What's going on with you?
I'm about to lose my mind.
I see you done shaved your up in here. I see you done shaved your face off.
Yeah, I had to cut down a little bit. It got to fighting at one point, and then the fight had moved up to my nose, and I couldn't breathe, so I had to cut it off a little bit. So. Yeah, they kind of got on my nerves.
Took a mind of his own.
Yes, sir. And they was out there.
Well, then that's enough. That's enough. But
I had to wrangle them in. Anyway, man, let's get it, man.
So,
let's get it.
Yeah, man. Folks looking at us right, man. What in the world are they talking about? They ain't talking about acting. Both done turned us off before we got started, man. Keep this thing off, man. What you got?
Nothing. They just talking with a lot of fillers. Nothing. I got it though. This is what we gonna do. Bam. We're gonna jump this thing off with the most exciting thing that's happened sports-wise this week. That awesome national championship football college game. It don't get no better.
Yes.
It don't get.
I'm talking about, but hey, once again, I was right with my pick. Once again, I was right when I said it was gonna be some slobber knocking going on.
But apparently, you and your
man, this is no, never. I ain't never lost. Don't you forget it. But anyway, that's that was one of the. You know what? That was one of the best sports, not just national championship college football. I'm talking about one of the best championship in sports that I've watched in a long, long time. Alabama was out in the first half, zombie walking. They couldn't even stop Georgia on third down, man. They just, and the crazy thing about it, it'll be 3rd and 89. They just hand the ball off Michelle and he'll run for 160 yards.
Everybody,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what is Alabama doing?
The dude just said, here, get 21. It's 3rd.
Right.
Here, get 21.
Right.
All right.
And But the biggest the biggest part about this game that everybody's talking about is the benching of Jalen Hurts.
No.
To bring in
wrong.
Tua.
It was not the benching. It was the decision that made that benching.
You're right.
It wasn't just the bench. Because everybody in the world that watched that game knew he shouldn't have been trying to throw that ball down the field. He shouldn't have been trying to be a quarterback in that second quarter of that game. Everybody in the world knew that. But who was going to say necessary?
Okay, but look.
So I'm putting my reputation on line. Okay, go ahead.
All right, one second. No, we about to come back to just what you're talking about because I got something to say about that. But let me finish up how the game went. So they put in Tua, whatever his name is, and he came in, moved the ball through 3 touchdown passes in the second half, plus the overtime, and the rest is what we call history. And like I say, it was one of the best games that I've witnessed in a little while.
Yep.
Back to this quarterback situation. So you're saying that this coaching decision was what? Because I'm going to enlighten you something on this coaching decision of putting Jalen Hurts on the bench that a lot of people really don't want.
I just said that in my mind, Alabama had to either put somebody else in
my mind,
or try to figure out how to run the ball 87 times and win the game. Because he was not a quarterback, not a effective quarterback at all. So Nick Saban had to say,
I'm talking about he was missing receivers wide open. Even he missed Ridley in the end zone, man.
Like twice. But the thing about it, it wasn't a whole lot of pressure. It wasn't that the receivers was missing the ball. He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And it showed everything that I've always thought about him as a quarterback. It just came out all together. Now I'm not saying he's not an athlete.
What is it that you think of? What is it that?
To me, he was never a true quarterback. I'm not saying he couldn't throw. I'm not saying he couldn't run. I'm just saying that he's not the person to be out there hitting targets on the field consistently. And to be, I know he was 25-2, but he could have been 27-0 if he was a guaranteed passer and not have to use his legs.
If he was a better passer.
All they did was wait for him to run because he couldn't hit no passes, so his confidence was shook. He was rolling out of stuff before he should have, and he was getting out of the pocket, and then he was rolling the wrong way. But if he had an arm like Tua,
and there were other times. No, he got the arm like Tua. He just don't know. He's just not accurate.
He don't have that mind either. That mindset and that presence, because it's some throws.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now you getting to what I want to get to about Jalen Hurts. His first reaction is to run, and also on the other side of that, it was sometime where every quarterback should have this clock in their head that said, okay, it's time to get out of here. But his clock was down, said, Hut, one read, gone. And sometimes he was standing back there in the pocket and was just standing there. And they was teeing off on him. So I'm going to tell you,
he throw the ball.
He's right. So he was so I mean, I like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, he's a game manager. He's a game manager. Now,
just don't lose the game.
Can he win the game when the game is on the line? Huh?
I said he's just that guy.
But you know what? The two games that
they one of them for
right,
sure.
He don't lose game.
It wasn't his fault. It was everybody on defense that died.
And that was last year's championship.
That died.
That was last year's championship. Now, if you want to say this year against Auburn, Right. If you want to say this year against Auburn, yeah, I can accept that right there because he didn't do crap in that game. He really
They
didn't.
kind of exposed him.
I mean, he really didn't. And then
it kind of put him how to
right, and also and also you can say that they linebackers wasn't healthy either, so their defense didn't play well for crap either. But Jalen Hurts, he didn't. That was one of his better games. Now he's a game manager. That's why if you playing with a defense like Alabama always have, and a running game like Alabama always have, so you always got one or two receivers or an elite All-American tight end or something like that right there.
NFL
that always betters your chances of winning the game. All you have to do, 3 of them, they keep 3 of them. All you have to do is not turn the ball over. Be a game manager. And that's why he's been, not to mention Nick Saban is your coach. I should have said that first. So you be scared to turn the ball over. So that's right. So he manages. He's a great game manager. Now get back on Tua. I mean, maybe, and also on Jalen Hurts' behalf, he's just a sophomore. You got to remember that he still got to grow up and learn the quarterback positions. Right now, he's just an athlete playing quarterback. A lot of people forget that he is just a sophomore.
But
he ain't gonna come in and be like Johnny Manziel or whoever.
But still, though, Ray, if you a quarterback in that.
But still, what?
Spot, if you a quarterback, be some kind of quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, be a bad quarterback or be a good quarterback. But what you was not a good quarterback, and you weren't a horrible quarterback, but it didn't work for that system. He can go anywhere else in the country and probably play quarterback.
So what kind of quarterback is he? If he's not a bad, he's not a good. What, he lukewarm?
To me, he's not a quarterback. He's an athlete, just like you said. He's not a quarterback. He's an athlete. What he needs to do is go out there and play slot receiver, scat back, or, hey, man, I'm over here, throw the ball. But he is not the guy to be throwing the ball to everybody else. That's what I see.
Right. Okay, well, look at this. All right, we're spending too much time on Hurts. But, yes, I agree with you. He is an athlete, but I'd rather have an athlete than a bad quarterback playing back there any day.
I ain't taking it from you. But from what I saw.
But the decision for them to oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Scary. And that's why Jalen Hurts gonna transfer. But look at this. We're spending too much time on Hurts. But look, he ain't going nowhere. Look, yeah, he is. Yeah, you're going to Jackson State University. Look. But look, the decision for them to put Tua in the game, a lot of people don't realize that this was already predestined. It was already planned. He was already told to be prepared. And it wasn't this game. It was the semifinal. If things didn't go the way it turned out against Clemson in the last game, how they were effective running the ball and how their defense was stepping up and making the stops that they were supposed to make. That decision was supposed to come in that game, and a lot of people don't know that. Tua was supposed to be prepared to play that game. But they never needed to pull that card because Hurts and everybody else, the defense and everybody else was handling their business. Right. Now, when it came over to this game, and when Hurts was not effective, okay, Saban with the Tua and say, "You ready? Let's go and do this." Now that it wasn't one of those situations where it spurred him up. I'm going into the game not knowing I'm a player or not. He went into that game knowing that it was going to be a possibility the day he made play.
No,
Hurts was not moving the ball. They were not being productive. And when they put him in, given what everybody in the world seen Tua do throughout the year, throughout the season during mop-up duty, a lot of people fell in love with it, and a lot of people wanted to pull Hurts plugged in.
Yes,
and I'm talking about diehard true Alabama fans who know something about football. I'm talking about fell in love with it. And I'm not gonna lie, I saw what they saw, and I got to give it to him. He's the real deal. And now, if you go back. If you know anything about football, you can look at the play calls that was called for Hurts, and you look at the play calls that was called for Tua, 2 totally different playbooks. It had got to the point where with Hurts, Only thing he was doing was throwing screens out the backfield. They would not let him throw downfield after he missed wide open receivers downfield. They was want to get anything out of it and let the athletes make a play. Hurts was slinging that joker downfield like it wasn't nothing.
Like it was nobody business.
And so what? And once again, it made Nick Saban look like a freaking genius.
That's what I was gonna get to.
Now, and I'm not gonna call him a genius. I'm gonna say he's smart, and this is the only reason I'm gonna call him a genius, because this man can recruit in every single. He can recruit in every single position except kicker. He can't find a kicker to save his life.
Nobody want to go
there. He can't find a kicker if they told him watch the. Yeah. Oh no.
Look,
people,
wait.
they want to go there. There's a lot of kids want to go there now. Come on. They just don't.
Ain't no real kicker that's got a scholarship, that's actually got some talent, gonna go to Alabama to think they gonna better their craft. Okay, if you go to Alabama as a kicker, you have to be a pedigree kicker. You can't be a kicker that just good in high school. You don't go to Alabama to learn how to kick.
Hold up, Rodney.
You go to
Alabama. Rodney. That's every school.
No, sir.
That's every school, right?
Sir. Hold up.
That's every school. But let me ask you this.
Hold up. Wait.
If what you say.
If you go to a school, if you from any position that you come out of high school, that you go to school to be, with your reason for picking that school is if you trying to get to the next level, not just for education side, but the sports side, you're going to go because that person can either get you to the next level or they can develop you to get those skills to get to the next level. You ain't seen a good kicker in Alabama ever because they don't develop kickers.
Why?
How much time you think they spend with a kicker?
Rodney, don't nobody develop kickers.
Use the story. It's some good.
If you think people put time, no. There's some good kickers in this world.
Okay.
It's not because the school. It's not because the school brushed them up. Because Alabama don't know how to recruit kickers. That's my point.
They don't know how to
work. It's because Alabama don't know how to recruit kickers.
They don't know how to
recruit kickers. They don't know how to recruit kickers. Everybody can. All they gotta do is say, go out there, kick the ball.
I don't want to hear. That's what. No.
Come on, dude.
I'm not. Right.
Are you telling me? So you mean to tell me multi-championship? You are telling me multi-championship Alabama do not have anybody that can work with kickers.
Apparently,
they can't get anybody to work with kickers. No, because the kickers Alabama have suck. Because they do not recruit good kickers. They don't know how. For some reason, this has always been. They don't know how. It ain't about grooming kickers. What in the world is going on?
This is my point. If I'm going to a school that has the resources for me to be great, then I'm going to go to that school. Alabama has not showed me why a kicker outside of education would want to go to Alabama for his post.
Rodney Hubbard, if you believe that kickers, if you believe kickers go to Tuesday colleges, kickers, we're talking about kickers.
Straight kickers.
I cannot believe we're talking about kickers. If you believe that a kicker,
you brought that up,
chose a school because of, but yes, I brought the kicker up, not kickers. The kicker for Alabama. Now, if you believe that kickers chose schools to better their craft, I got some swampland in Grenada that I want to sell you.
I buy it. I like swamp rabbit.
We're talking about kickers. Oh my God. Anyway,
see, it's something.
Good move by Nick Saban. And I'm telling you,
look,
and I'm telling you,
what I want to say about Nick Saban.
Like this right here too, right? I'm glad. Hold on. I'm gonna just say this. I'm glad they won the game because if they had lost that game, that kicker about to be swimming with the fishes. All right, go ahead.
Okay, this is my thing. The pure genius of Nick Saban is this. He prepared 2 different ball games. The first one we saw was the first half. The second one we saw was the second half. Now, him going into that game and saying, you be ready because I might use you. We're going to practice for you this week. Make sure you ready to play. Was putting it in that boy's mind. Because like you said, you ain't just going to turn around and say, you, come on, take his place. That ain't just going to happen. But that's just how cerebral he is when it comes to playing his past people that used to work for him. He gonna find everywhere in the book to make sure he beat.
Hey, can I text?
Okay, what he got to do?
Hey, can I add something?
Be the kicker. He was gonna beat that man.
Can I add something to that? Can I add something to that?
What's up?
We put so much emphasis on Tua. We put so much emphasis on Tua. Just adding to what you're saying about the mindset of Nick Saban and putting in this freshman quarterback game preparing and whatnot. He did the same thing in the backfield. That dude, that Harris freshman, that was a freshman.
Yes.
That dude that just came, moved the ball, straw balls, almost called him, straw balls wasn't moving the ball. The biggest dude on the field, he wasn't even moving the ball. Straw balls wasn't moving the ball. He wasn't moving the ball.
But
the junior Harris, whatever his name is, he wasn't moving the ball. But he put that freshman in. Not only did he put that freshman in, he put a freshman, I think, offensive tackle. Or was it right guard? Anyway, he put a freshman lineman in. That freshman receiver that caught the winning touchdown pass. And two freshman receivers.
Nah.
So that says a lot about Nick Saban.
Ready.
And that just scares me for the years to come because
they so young.
So that's enough about Alabama. Alabama, you'll never get this much love on our show again. We spending too much time on y'all.
If they win next year, they win.
No, that's what happened when you got the right. And that's what happened when you got it's not mature. It's not maturity. That's when you got the best talent in the world. Like I said, they recruit talent. I'm talking about A+ talent in all other positions but kickers. They do not recruit kickers.
Okay. But they need
and to. Not because they don't have anybody to work with them.
Do you know that kicker would have been the most?
They need to. I agree. They need to.
The most loved person in America if he had made that kick, as opposed to about to commit suicide.
And do you know if Alabama? Do you know? Nope. Do you know if Alabama had lost that game, he'd have been the most wanted in Alabama history?
Oh, he wouldn't ride on the plane. He would have been over there with that dude, number 48, that hit that coach. They would have both been walking back.
Yeah. Ain't that true? But I think they rode the bus because from Tuscaloosa to Atlanta ain't but an hour and a half, a couple hours.
They walk that hour and a half. Don't matter. But it's Nick Saban. All right, back, boys. All right, check this out.
Yeah, it's Nick Saban.
Let's roll this thing on over to some NBA basketball.
Congratulations, Alabama, and all of you Alabama maniacs.
I'm not saying it.
Roll Tide, I guess. Go. I said, SEC, Roll Tide.
Congratulations, SEC.
Whatever.
Look,
another one.
LeBron James, and we're gonna talk about the NBA. Two topics. We're gonna revisit one.
All right.
We're gonna talk about a new one. The new one we're gonna talk about is LeBron James and his antics when he got blew out by 25 2 nights in a row. I for one,
they be getting their head thumped.
I for one am sick and tired of seeing him blame everything on the world, and then every year, well, we just ain't got it. My team ain't figured it out. We ain't figured it out. We do this, and then you turn around, and you be in the finals. Like it's getting old to me. It's like I don't even want to see you talk about the NBA no more, about your team no more. Like let me just watch somebody else because you're getting on my nerves, bro. And you over here arguing with the coach. Now this is what really gets me. Ty Lue was saying, "Shut up, LeBron." Wait a minute. He's like, "Shut up, LeBron. Don't do this, do that. Go over there." He's like, "I'm doing everything. I got it. I ain't never lost." He over there doing all this. LeBron, bro, shut up, man. Just let this man coach. Learn how to shut up and follow. If you follow the rest of them, or you be cool with them, then you might get what you want and not lose by 25 more 2 nights in a row. It's just frustrating to see because it's like you do it all the time. If you did this once every 3 years, okay, cool. Because tomorrow night is going to be a Twitter rant, and it's going to make everybody on his team look bad, and Ty Lue is going to be over there with 2 towels trying to figure out what his next job is going to be. It gets old.
And what it is, he going to be over there with his lips, Ty Lue lips, be like, hey, all right, LeBron, man, calm down. But I'm tell you something. It's one thing. It's one thing about LBJ, man. That always have been ever since he was crowned the King, K-A-N-G, and it comes with a sense of arrogance. Whenever, and this is with a lot of athletes with big time prestige and whatnot. Whenever they're winning, you won't hear nothing out of it. There won't be no antics or anything like that or whatever. But the thing I hate about LeBron James, when they're losing, it's like you said, it's never his fault. It's everybody's fault but his. Okay. Now, the thing that I hate about him is that when, like I said, when they're losing, you know, put it this way. If you're losing and you got to react that way, maybe you need to look at yourself and say, what is it that I could have? I'm the king now. What is it that I could have done to keep us from losing the way we lost? You understand what I'm saying? You're the best player in the world right now. There is no way with the crew that he have and have had in the past that he should be losing the way he loses, especially not back to back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the thing that I really, really hate about him, you know, he got this sense of arrogance about him.
Right.
And that really, really just get on my nerve.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
I got
So
you.
that being said, you know, LeBron need to let the coaches coach. And he just fall in line. But I understand he's the coach on the court. But at the same time, too, when a coach needs you to settle down and chill out, and everybody need to come together and get this thing, you know, get all the wheels back on the road, and before you get blowed out by 25, you need to know your role. You need to know your role as a player. I don't care if you're the number 1 player in the league or the number 111 in the league. You just need to know your role and fall back and let the coach and stop blowing up like that whenever you lose.
I tell y'all what we're going to do.
So
we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a second. So it's going to be 2 parts of this show. This part 1. Be patient for part 2. It's going to be short, I promise. We'll be right back.